Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what that sounds like in the Allianz Arena in 7 days' time. Excitement at fever pitch among the Tartan Army here tonight, many of whom will be in Germany with or without tickets. Can Steve Clarke's Scotland sign off with a morale-boosting performance and victory against Finland this evening? Well, the victory over Gibraltar put an end to a 7-game winless run with a first clean sheet in that period to boot. Now it's about building on that and readying the players for the real thing. The opening game of Euro 2024 against Germany next Friday night. I'll give you another quick run through the teams. A while since I did so. It's Angus Gunn in goal, the back three of Jack Hendry, Grant Hanley, Kieran Tierney, the wing backs Anthony Ralston and Andy Robertson, the captain. Hanley incidentally winning his 50th cap tonight. Billy Gilmore, Callum McGregor, John McGinn and Ryan Christie in the midfield with Lawrence Shankland up front. It's 5 changes from the win over Gibraltar with Gunn, Hendry, Ralston, McGregor and Tierney all coming in for Clarke, McCrory, Porteous, McLean and Forrest. For Finland, it's Juronen in goal, a back four of Niskanen, formerly of Dundee United. He's at right back tonight. Hoskonen, Vaisanen and Olila. In the midfield, it's Lod, Peltola and Maenpa. And up front, it's Terho and Pukki, the captain, supporting Poyan Palo through the middle. Just about ready to get underway. It's sunny Hampden Park, not overly warm, it has to be said. A little bit of a breeze as well. Not particularly summery feeling. The Finns should prove much stiffer off position than Gibraltar, despite having shipped 4 goals in their last 2 away games against Portugal and the playoff defeat in Wales. They did beat Scotland's recent conquerors Northern Ireland home and away in qualifying, but Scotland now looking for a first win here in 4 to take into that Euro 2024 opener. It looks like it will be the Scots to get us underway here. They will go from right to left as we look at it from the back of the main stand, high up above the pitch. Brilliant view. Scotland all in navy blue. We're underway. The Finns all in white. As Kieran Tierney batters a diagonal ball in the direction of Tony Ralston, who can't keep it in. It's out for a throw-in to the visitors this evening. I mentioned Ilmari Niskanen, he's on the ball right now. He played at left back in the defeat by Portugal. He's switched to the right full-back position. We're more accustomed to seeing him as a winger, and he's in an advanced position here on the right-hand side. And he's picked out a good ball in Finland, coming forward looking for a goal inside the opening minute, but it's cut out by Scotland and blasted forward. But impressive opening by the visitors, Willie.
Yeah, without doubt, lovely play, cultured play as well. Niskanen down the right-hand side, creating a bit of space, and the cut back, and a little bit unlucky not to get something from it. So the intent's there. There's certainly not any resemblance of the formation that was set up by Gibraltar, and they're on the front foot right from the start.
It's Niskanen again, just inside the Scotland half, goes back the way to his centre-back Hoskonen. It's a much changed Finland side from the defeat against Portugal. You might have heard the manager talking pre-match to Keradine about wanting to use as many of his squad as he can ahead of their Nations League games in September against Greece, England and Republic of Ireland. That's their squad. They're looking to build for that. And it's only 2 players, Niskanen and Peltola in the midfield, who keep their places from the starting 11 the other night. As for Scotland, well, Steve Clarke suggested it would be a much more familiar side, and I think we all feel this will be pretty close to the 11 that start out in Germany. McTominay, you would imagine, if fit, and we expect to be so, will come into the team. Maybe not too many other changes as Hendry knocks it forward. Niskanen, though, there to cut it out. He gives it straight to Robertson, who knocks it forward for McGinn. McGinn gets it back out to the left-hand side to Robertson, tries to get beyond Niskanen. The 2 former Dundee United players there up against each other, and is out for a throw-in to Scotland, quickly taken by Robertson to Tierney. Another Scotland throw, Robertson looking to take it quickly. In the end, he has to delay, goes back once more to Tierney, and infield to Hanley on the halfway line, plays it square to Hendry. Hendry with the pink boots out to the right-hand side for Ralston, who's got a massive opportunity here to try and cement a place in the starting lineup for next week's game. I think he always would have felt he had a chance of being part of the squad even before the injuries to Hickey and Patterson, but it would have been pretty much as a backup. Now he could be going as first choice.
Yeah, it's a big night for him, Alasdair, it really is. He wants to put in a big performance and cement that place for next Friday night, as do all the players on the pitch. The other one to look out for, of course, is Lawrence Shankland leading the line for us this evening. That's another decision that's going to have to be made by the manager come next Friday.
Here's Hendry, just inside his own half. Scotland get to mount a serious attack. Christie picking up, going back from the Finns half into his own half, gets it back from Gilmore, and then tries to clip it forward for Robertson. He looked offside, but he picks it up, and the flag stays down. It's a dangerous ball in. Now the flag goes up to halt Scotland's progress. Did look like he'd gone maybe a yard early, the captain there, but it's a dangerous ball he put in nonetheless. But it will be a free kick to Finland. 3.5 minutes played, Scotland 0, Finland 0.
Yeah, not a great deal in it, I don't think, but yeah, just marginally offside. The flag eventually going up. Christie doing really well, and a lovely clip pass to Andy Robertson. A very decent cross into the box. Maybe Shankland a little bit slow in getting in front of it. You know, I think he maybe should have made the run across the defender a little bit earlier, but the flag was up anyway.
Scotland just easing their way into the game here, getting a few passes together, and Gilmore, as Tomo said pre-match, always looking to take the ball regardless of the pressure he might be under, so comfortable. And it's Hendry now, back to Hanley. Hanley plays it to his left-hand side for Tierney. Tierney over the halfway line, and it's John McGinn. Motors away down that left-hand side, just a little turn of pace, just behind Shankland. It almost fell there for Christie. And just behind both the Scotland players there, Ralston puts in a good challenge to win it back. It's Gilmore who picks up just outside the penalty area. Scotland enjoying some good early possession now after an early scare from the Finns. Here's McGregor to his Celtic teammate Ralston, and now back with Hendry into Gilmore, back to the halfway line for Hanley, who played the first half out in the Algarve against Gibraltar. His first action since the opening couple of qualifiers. Here's McGinn down the left channel for Shankland, who should keep it in, and he does do. Still in the Scotland left, tries to force it back to McGinn, who just manages to collect after Finland looked to get a man in the way, but McGinn's taken a finger in the eye there from Casper Terho.
That was well spotted from up here, Al.
Well, that was my guess, the way he reacted, certainly.
I think it was his pinky, was it?
It's Scotland throw in about 25 yards from the goal line, all the way back to the halfway line though from Robertson for Hanley, and now Hendry back to Grant Hanley of Norwich City. Gilmore does take it in a tight space and gets it to McGregor, who's equally comfortable in those positions. Now it's out to the right with Ralston, feeds it forward for Christie, almost at the goal line, right hand side, just outside the box. So back once more to Ralston, plays it to McGregor on the angle of the box, back to Hendry. Good possession from Scotland. What can they do with it? Hendry comes forward, about 30 yards from goal. Now it's Tierney. Tierney tries to just slide it inside Niskanen, but Robertson was the target, didn't get through to him. Well read by Niskanen. And Scotland building up a head of steam here.
Yeah, we're passing the ball with a lot more pace and a lot more energy than we certainly were on Monday evening. It's understandable, the pitch is absolutely perfect. It's been well watered, there's a wee spot of rain as well, so the ball is moving very quickly. It's been a good wee spell for us the last 4 or 5 minutes after that bright start from Finland.
Never lost to Finland in 8 meetings, 6 wins and 2 draws. The last of which was back in 1998. It was a World Cup warm-up at Easter Road. Darren Jackson equalising Jonathan Johansson's early goal for the Finns. Scotland get a free kick quickly taken by McGregor. It's on to McGinn. McGinn. Offside flags up against Scotland again. That was promising, but halted. Almost 7 minutes played at Hampden, and Scotland certainly enjoying territorial advantage, possession advantage. Nothing to show for it as yet.
No, but it's good tempo to the game. You know, I think sometimes you have possession and it's slow possession and you're not doing much with the ball and you're not testing the opposition. You feel that the tempo's high, the passing's sharp, the movement's good, and the forward thinking passing as well has been pretty pretty good too. So, you know, I think we're only 7 minutes into the game. The first minute belonged to the visitors. Since then, it's all been about Scotland, and it's been you know, really appealing to watch.
And they've won it back again on the halfway line. It's Gilmore somehow managing to wriggle away from a couple of challenges. Ralston gives it away, and Finland pick up in the middle of the park, and it's out to Niskanen, who's seen plenty of the ball in these early stages. Back to Hoskonen, one of the central defenders for Finland's ball's been knocked out of play. Not entirely sure why, because there's
something wrong with the ball, I think. Are they changing it?
Yeah, the ball, I think the ball's maybe soft or flat, whatever. Change the ball.
Finland allowed to take the throw, even though it was them that knocked it out of play, but I think it was because there was something awry. Anyway, Finland have it. It's Niskanen again. He's closed down by Robertson. He moves away from him though and gets the pass off to Terho, who's quickly closed down by Tierney. And the free kick eventually given, I think, for the challenge by Tierney. Did look a tad late, and Finland will have the free kick about 15 yards inside their own half, right-hand side. 8.5 played here at Hampden, where Scotland have lost 2 of the last 3 against England and Northern Ireland. Certainly that Northern Ireland result and performance were very poor. I think we pretty much would have accepted some of the results that came against in that run of 7 without a win.
It was really unlike us, Alasdair. You know, that normally we're impressive, certainly here at Hampden, but that evening nothing went right for us. You can't say that there would have been 1-2 players that got pass marks that night.
Hoskonen out to Niskanen. The under-21s have lost 5-0, I think it was, out in again playing against Austria in a friendly, which regardless of being a friendly or not, it's not a great result, is it? But here it's all about the main team, and they're under pressure, and it's Terho, and it's a brilliant saving challenge in there by Tierney, and it's glanced towards goal. And it's a decent save from Angus Gunn as Pukki got across his marker, but initially it was a phenomenal challenge by Kieran Tierney to deny Terho as Finland threatened the opener.
Yeah, it was. You know, just that instinct from Tierney, isn't it, to get himself into the right position, because he's facing away from the goal. He has to adjust himself, you know, and just recoup and get himself into an area that he can make the block. And it was excellent defending at the end of the day.
And even at that, the second ball came in, Pukki glanced it goalwards, and Gunn forced into what was a pretty comfortable save, but worrying moments in the sense that Finland are able to create chances like that. Yeah,
good chances as well. Some tackle it was from Tierney, and then the ball that came in was fantastic for Pukki. Gets a glance on it, was never going to beat Angus Gunn at his near post.
Well, it's certainly a sign that Finland are not here just to make up the numbers. They are going to prove a decent opposition. This is not just going to be a morale-boosting victory without a bit of hard work from the Scots and a good performance, you would have thought. As Robertson gets it back to Tierney, midway inside his own half. Big diagonal out to the right-hand side. It's a good ball for Ralston. Takes a touch and then knocks it back to Hendry. Hendry coming forward into the Finns' half. Plays it forward for Christie, who goes back to Gilmore, and now McGregor. Gilmore once more, about 10 yards inside the Finnish half. Now Tierney allowed to advance, and out to the left-hand side he goes and continues his run, looking to get it back from Robertson, which he does. Niskanen tracking him, gets a good challenge in there. The Finnish right back, it's out for a throw in to Scotland. 11 played, 0-0.
Seen it so many times in this qualifying campaign, that combination between Tierney and Robertson, when they do get the opportunity to play together, they interlink brilliantly down this left-hand side.
That's the partnership that Tom English is keen to break up. Here's Gilmore, feeds it forward to McGinn. McGinn gets turned and out to the left-hand side for Robertson, who put in some good balls against Gibraltar. And there's another one. It's cut out brilliantly, though, at the near post by Hoskonen. Comes out to Gilmore, about 25 yards from goal, lifts it over one player's head. Tries to find the pass for Robertson, doesn't work out, but he does get it back, and now it's McGregor on the angle of the box, left-hand side. Robertson back to McGregor once more, and then into Tierney. Tierney for McGinn, just tried the little layoff for McGregor, doesn't come off. Niskanen nips in, and then the clearance is completed up to Poyan Palo. He can't keep a hold of it. Gilmore out to Ralston. Ralston about 35 yards from goal, right hand side, looking for options. Christie's one of them. He's tracked across there by Peltola. He's done well, he's into the box. Christie now, can he cut it back for a teammate? Looked like it had gone behind as the attempt came in there, but play continues. Wasn't really a purposeful effort there from Ralston as he tried to get on the end of it.
Really good play from Christie again. He's had a bright start to the match. So good at going by players, driving with the ball, gets to the byline, tries to cut it back at full stretch, but Finland defended the situation well. But we're playing well, we're playing with a tempo and a purpose.
Iceland have gone 1-0 up against England in England's final Euro 2024 warm-up. Germany are playing against Greece in a friendly, and they are still 0-0. Keep you up to date if we can on the score in that one. Grant Hanley has it midway inside his own half, plays it forward for Gilmore. Back with Tierney. Tierney left hand side. Finland look well organised. Tierney has tried this switch of play a number of times already, and it's worked here for Ralston. Forward for Christie, tries to let Ralston take over again. Ball's out for a throw-in over on the far side, the Scotland right. Ralston to take this throw-in on his 9th Scotland appearance. Came on late for Nathan Patterson against Georgia and the Netherlands in recent games. That was his Georgia one, was his only qualifying appearance. Here's Christie. Ralston once more, and now McGregor in field to Gilmore. Keeps it going for Tierney. Clips that one forward. It's a lovely looking ball. Niskanen's cut it out, but only to give it to McGinn, and McGinn tries to chip the keeper, but he's a couple of yards too high with that one. You can see what he was having in mind there, John McGinn, but he didn't get his angles right, and it's well over the bar. 40 minutes in, Scotland 0, Finland 0.
I think the problem was everybody could see what he was trying to do. The goalkeeper could as well, because he was on his way back to his goal line as John tried to just clip it over him, just lob it over the top. But no, it's been a great start. 15 minutes or so into the game. I think Steve Clark will be more than happy with what he's watching. The tempo's high, the passing is really accurate as well. The interlinking play is good, and the intent is definitely there. And Finland seem quite happy though to almost be spectators. They are in a good shape. It's a 4-4-2 as far as I can see, although the team lines had it slightly different from that, but certainly back four and the four in midfield that then maybe becomes a three going forward, and they're just quite happy for Scotland to pass the ball about and then try to hit the break, and they look dangerous on the break.
Yeah, and they're in possession here through Robin Lodds, who plays his football with Minnesota United, along with his captain Timo Pukki, who you'll recall didn't have a great time at Celtic. He was at the club from 2013 to 2015, albeit the second of those was on loan, and he's almost in here, and Grant Hanley just lost his bearings there, and Pukki lifted it over Angus Gunn, but also over the crossbar. And although 34 years of age now, you can see he's still a dangerous striker.
Yeah, it was really good movement from him, and the pass is excellent, but Grant Hanley had already started to deepen more than his other defenders, and then he just loses total track of the flight of the ball as it's in the air, gets himself kind of twisted wrong side, and Pukki then had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He tries to lift it and lob it over. Angus Gunn probably should have done better, a player of his goal-scoring expertise, but you would say in the match so far Finland have had the better chances.
They definitely have. Ralston and Christie trying to combine on the right hand side, but unable to link up, and that's fired forward. But is that Hanley's indecision there, Willie? Is that down to a bit of rustiness? He certainly hasn't played a lot of football in the last few months.
I think there's been occasions where he hasn't handled over the years, when he hasn't handled quite simple situations. I think that was quite a simple situation. I think all he has to do is deepen himself a little bit. He's watching the ball. He kind of loses the flight of the ball. It could be the rustiness, the fact that he hasn't played too many games, but it is a big chance for Pukki. He should have done much better, with a chance like that. And I think Grant Hanley will be pretty happy that nothing came of it.
Scotland have it now. It's Gilmore for Christie. Went back the way towards the centre circle, plays it to Tierney, and then out to the left-hand side to the captain, Andy Robertson, who makes his 71st appearance tonight, just one behind Tom Boyd now. He's the next one he's going to catch in that international appearance record. Here's Tierney out to the left-hand side once more for Robertson. Back to Tierney, playing on the left-hand side of the back three. Forward it goes to McGinn. McGinn in the angle of the box, just turns away from his man, but he's dispossessed well by Terho, tracking back there, and it's back with the goalkeeper, Jesse Jorinen of Venezia, and he clears his lines, and the ball's gone out of play before Terho heads it back down.
He's given a free kick to the goalkeeper. Lawrence was closing him down, and just he kind of kicked through, and it was never a foul for me.
No, it was a dreadful pass back actually, and you know, the goalkeeper did particularly well to clear it, and the ball, I don't know why the referee actually wanted to bring it back, because it was a good opportunity for Finland to once again go forward.
McGregor's pinched it in the middle of the park, plays it forward for McGinn. He's just a little bit heavy with his pass for Andy Robertson, and a few grumbles from the Hampden crowd who just want to see their side take charge of the game again and get the opening goal. Of course, took a while to come against Gibraltar, and who's to say it won't take a while here against Finland as well. It's given away by Poyan Palo, who's like his goalkeeper, represents Venezia. They just won the Serie B playoff and will be playing in Italy's top tier next season. Here's Jack Hendrick. There's a short ball for Billy Gilmour. Billy Gilmour about 10 yards inside his own half, out to the left to Robertson. Robertson just shuffles it back to Tierney, and then inside to Hanley. Tempo's just dropped a little bit from Scotland in the last few minutes, as Hendrick fires it out though to Ralston. Ralston takes one touch, plays it into the box. It's only Shankland in there, and it's well over him. Not enough bodies forward there for Scotland, as Hendry's now got a bit of defending to do. He heads it straight to Timo Pukki. Pukki able to come forward here. He's got Terho to his right. He tries to slip him in. Tierney able to react quickly enough, and then Angus Gunn just heads it behind. It was good play actually by Angus Gunn, who knew he couldn't pick it up, but actually Tierney was fouled as he just played that back to Gunn by Terho. But again, Finland looking dangerous on the counter, as you've said already, Willie.
Yeah, I mean, the intent's good. They want to play the ball forward very quickly. They get bodies forward too, but they're presented, you know, with opportunities there. Scotland should have had possession of the ball. It's given away. It then leads to quite a cute little ball in behind Tierney. It is a free kick. Don't think there's any doubt about that. And Angus Gunn, it's a very strange way to clear it, isn't it? With the goalkeeper going along the ground and heading it out. But it was effective.
John McGinn wins a free kick and then fires it out to the right-hand side to Ralston. Ralston quickly back in field to Shankland, who's on the angle of the box on the right-hand side. Ralston again plays it back the way to Hendry, midway inside his own half. Infield to McGregor. McGregor to McGinn. McGinn back to Tierney, midway inside the Finland half. Tries again to find the cross-field pass. It's cut out, but Shankland gets the shot away a yard or two over the top. He was never really set, but you could see he was keen to get the shot away, but wasn't going to test the goalkeeper with that one. 21 minutes played, Scotland 0, Finland 0.
Yeah, it was a poor defensive header from Finland that failed to Lawrence. He took a touch on his chest, and then his second touch just kind of bobbled in front of him off of his knee. He wasn't really set perfectly to hit it. He was about 22 yards out and hit it kind of almost in a half volley, but it was always rising over the goalkeeper's bar.
Finland again looking to come forwards after a wonderful pass out from the goalkeeper there, Joronen. A wonderful fade on the pass with the left foot, kept in by Terho, but Finland unable to make anything more of it. Scotland pick up, and it's Hendry just inside his own half, out to Ralston. Ralston infield to Shankland with his back to goal. He's nudged in the back there by Sannin, and he'll win the free kick. It's just quickly clipped forward. McGregor won't get there though. It's a bit wasteful there from Scotland as they look to try and catch the Finns, but poor distribution. They have though closed Finland down. It's a throw in to Finland, about 10 yards or so from the corner flag over on the far side. The Finland left to be taken by the fullback Olila of Paris FC. Not their more illustrious neighbours, I hasten to add. Finland win another Throwing over on the far side, the left, as the visitors come forward. Won 3 of the last 5 games. Finland, Northern Ireland, San Marino and Estonia. And there's a player down over on the left-hand side. Is it Pookie, actually?
Yeah, I don't know why the referee stopped play. I don't think it was a head knock. He's getting back to his feet now. Scotland will get possession again. Maybe it was. Maybe he got a poke in the eye, Alasdair.
Well, it was over on the far side, so that was difficult to see.
Slightly further away for you to see the old eye pokes.
Play resumes with a drop ball for Scotland. Pookie none the worse for wear. He's had a wonderful career, you'd have to say, since leaving Celtic. Norwich was where he really made his name. 88 goals in his 210 games there. Here's Hendry trying to get away from the Finland captain. He's managed to do so. Ryan Christie picking up now. He tries to switch it for Robertson on the left-hand side of the box. Gets it back to Tierney. First time ball in, is defended well and cleared as far as Jack Hendry, who just nudges it to Hanley on the edge of the centre circle. Now McGregor out to the left to Tierney, who helps it on to Robertson. Robertson finds Tierney once more, and then McGinn back to Robertson. Good interplay from the 3 Scots. Back with McGregor, and now McGinn once more on the left-hand side. McGregor once more, midway inside the Finland half. Plays it back to Hanley. Hanley will just keep it moving out to the right to Hendry. Now Christie. Again, Finland holding that good shape, making it difficult for Scotland to play through the lines. Hendry into Gilmore. It's a good first-time ball for McGregor. McGregor out to Ralston now, about 20 yards from the goal line. Back to McGregor. McGregor looks up, slides it in for Shankland, who tries to lay it off. Comes to McGinn. Christie's in there as well. He's caught there, was he? Play allowed to continue as Gilmore picks up. The referee played the advantage. It didn't accrue, and Scotland have won it back though. Here's Christie out to the left. It goes to Tierney. Tierney about 25 yards from goal. Into the feet here of McGinn inside the box, trying to get turned using that backside of his, but it didn't come off. And Tierney's penalised. He tried to win possession back. It looked a soft one as Tero goes down. The referee falls for it though. Polish referee Lukasz Kuzma, and Finland get a free kick and a bit of respite because that was good build-up play from Scotland. But 25 in, Scotland 0, Finland 0.
No, it's very good. You know, the tempo of it, the sharpness of the passing, the understanding between the players as well. You know, is at a very high level, but they're not really creating.
It's the cutting edge, isn't it? Well, they're moving the ball well, and the passing is sharp. You're right, and a lot of nice kind of one-touch stuff. Off the ball, the movement's good, but when we get into the final third, the penetrative pass is missing.
There.
Yeah, and that's been a failing for a while now. Maybe a lack of clinical edge in front of goal as well. But no doubting that the build-up play is easy on the eye, but Jesse Juronen in Finnish goal yet to be tested. Whereas the Finns have created a couple of decent opportunities at the other end, and you have to say that when it comes to the real thing in a week's time, the opposition are going to be a whole lot better, and it's going to be even more difficult to create opportunities for Scotland. But here they come. Callum McGregor on the halfway line, out to Robertson, and now back to Tierney, just inside his own half. Looks over the top for McGinn. McGinn's made the run, but it's cut out by Hoskinen, who gets it down to Niskanen, and then played infield. Finland play out from the back, but they run into trouble in the shape of Ralston, and it's forward now as Christie tries to dribble beyond a couple of Finland players, eventually crowded out. And Hoskinen will just hack it up towards the halfway line. Pookie battling away there with Hanley, two former Norwich City teammates. But Finland keep possession, and it's Olila looking to switch play, but Robertson in the way, heads it back to Angus Gunn, who's playing his 10th game for his country tonight.
Well, we haven't had enough lot to do defensively, and you know, on the counter then we struggled a little bit, but I think it's because we're playing such a high line too. You know, Grant Hanley wants to go and win the ball there. He doesn't have too much cover behind him. I would have thought that Jack Henry could have given a little bit of cover there, and he almost exposed himself because Pookie is a very experienced player, and He almost managed to turn the big centre-back and create a little opening for him.
Peltola doing well there against Jack Hendry as he tried to come forward. Here come Finland down the left, and it is Timo Pukki. Ralston trying to get back at him, but he just plays a little back heel as Finland continue to build, and it's Olila back into Vaisanen on the halfway line, plays it square to Hoskinen. Still 0-0 after 27.5 minutes. Scotland failing to trouble the Finnish goalkeeper as yet. Hoskinen picks up once more just inside his own half, plays it short ball forward to Lod, and then out to the left hand side once more to Olila. Now Finland enjoying a bit of possession, albeit in a less than dangerous area. Lod once more at 10 yards inside his own half, plays it square to Hoskinen, who plays his football with Cracovia in Poland. Scotland have won it back. Gilmore, now it's Robertson, midway inside his own half. Infield he goes to McGregor. McGregor looks up, fires it out to Ralston. Is he asking just a bit much of his Celtic teammate? No, he's kept it in. Playing in a slightly unusual wing-back role for him. Obviously used to playing as a full-back when he does play for Celtic, but taking his opportunity this evening. Here's Robertson on the other flank, the left-hand side for Scotland. Plays it back the way to Tierney, midway inside the Finnish half. Hoists it into the penalty area. Christie wins the header, but couldn't find a teammate with that header as he tried to. McGregor's done well to win it back though from Terho, and it breaks to Robertson, who curls one in towards the back post. Christie was again attacking it, as well won by though Olila, and Scotland have to go back the way to try and come forward once more. Hendry for Ralston, almost just a minute away from the half-hour mark. Still 0-0 as Tierney picks up and tries to drive Scotland forward. This leaves it to Robertson, left-hand side, infield to McGregor now. McGregor forward to McGinn. McGinn holding off his marker, plays it out to the left-hand side. Tierney, one touch there, brilliant cross, but it's just too high for Christie, and it's knocked back to his goalkeeper by Olila. And it will remain as the half-hour ticks around. Scotland 0, Finland 0.
We're working the ball well into wide areas and then putting some decent enough balls into the box. They're just not quite falling for Scotland heads at the minute. Christie and Shankland are in the box every time that ball comes in, but it never seems to fall in either of their heads. Christie only a whisker away from that one that time.
It's going to be a Finland free kick for a foul there by Shankland on Olila, who's just picking himself up as play has already resumed, as Peltola of DC United picks up. Knocks it back to Hoskinen in the halfway line. Time to pick a pass for Terho, who plays for Union Saint-Gilloise, former opponents of Rangers and possible future opponents of Rangers in the Champions League qualifiers this coming season as well. See how that materialises as Finland try and play the ball over the top, but Robertson with a beautiful touch out of the air and feeds it forward down the left-hand side. Shankland can't get there. McGinn battling as well, but he's done well actually. He's won possession, looked second favourite. Now he finds Christie, who has an awful lot. Gilmore almost an own goal there as Hoskinen tried to play it back to his goalkeeper. He almost wrong-footed him, and Joronen was just able to stick out the left foot to keep it out. Scotland will come again, buoyed by that as McGinn knocks it back to Robertson. It was terrific play by McGinn just a moment ago. Here's McGregor now, infield for Gilmore. Hanley for Hendry, midway inside the Finland half. Gilmore again for McGregor. Short passing in the centre of the midfield as Hendry plays it to Hanley, and now he'll come out to the left for Tierney. Tierney about 15 yards inside the Finland half, looking for options. He just goes back slightly, essentially to Hanley, and now Hendry. Scotland just trying to drag the Finns around a little bit, but they're steadfastly sticking in their shape for the moment. Here's Christie, midway inside opposition territory, plays it to the left to Tierney, and now further left for Robertson. He encourages Tierney to move forward again. Terho steps in, knocks it out of play, and it'll be a Scotland throw in about 20 yards from the corner flag. 31.5 played, still 0-0 as Tierney throws it into Robertson. Robertson going back the way, plays it to Hanley. Hanley will play it square to Hendry, just on the edge of the centre circle. Can Scotland find a breakthrough in the next attacking phase? Here's Tierney down the left flank for McGinn. McGinn, a little back heel for Tierney and gets it back once more. John McGinn then clips it into the area. Robertson on the chase. Shankland's there first, then McGregor takes over and he plays it off ice, and then it will be a Scotland corner again. It's good link up and more promising in the sense that at least a Scotland corner.
It's really good play. You know, again, we've watched a lot of excellent passing movement from Scotland, and on that occasion it's Callum McGregor that actually makes a run forward, and Shankland, you know, chests it back down to him. He tries to drill it across the faces, you know, claiming for a penalty. There's no way that it hits an arm, that's for sure. The corner's given, but again, it's exciting play.
First corner kick of the game by Gilmour towards the back post. It's won by a Finnish head, and Pookie will bring it clear, or he's brought to the ground by John McGinn. And he's going to be
it's a yellow card.
I think other than the fact that this is a friendly match, then he was straight in the referee's book there.
It's a very clever ball from John, because they were counter-attacking on us and they'd got past John, but John very wisely stuck his hip out and blocked the run of Pookie, or else they'd have been countering on us. A bit 2 for 2.
So that corner comes to nothing, and Finland can come forward. Germany 0, Greece 1 in that friendly in Mönchengladbach. Well, we're not going to read too much into friendly scores. Germany drew 0 each the other night with Ukraine as well. Watched a little bit of that, but it's all about what happens next Friday, really, isn't it? But anyway, encouraging that.
Let's not say anything until this friendly's done with.
No, exactly. Here's Hanley for Hendry. Just about 11 minutes left in this first period. 0-0 the scoreline stands, and still Joronen in the Finnish goal yet to be troubled as Niskanen knocks it out of play and halts Andy Robertson's progress. Robertson takes the throw in himself into Shankland, left hand side of the box, closely tracked, but does get the ball back to Robertson. One touch and then clips it to the back post. Looks like a good ball, but it comes off for Alston, and it looks like it will be a goal kick, and the officials agree, and it remains Scotland 0, Finland 0.
Yeah, probably their best chance was the Hoskinen back pass, wasn't it, where the goalkeeper came rushing out and almost took himself out of the game. But you know what, a lot of good play out there. Stephen, you would agree with that, wouldn't you?
It's been slick enough,
yep.
And I think that the energy and the tempo has been there, but you just worry about who's going to get the goals for us, or who's going to create the goals for us, because we've certainly not looked overly threatening.
Now come the Finns trying to threaten. They're 3-on-2 here as they advance, and it's out to Terho just at the edge of the box. Scotland trying to get numbers back. Terho's shot is slightly deflected and saved by Angus Gunn. But again, Scotland leaving themselves wide open at the back. 3-on-2 they found themselves there, and but for the slight deflection, I think, off Tierney's boot, that might have troubled Angus Gunn.
You know, it's Grant Hanley in my book. He goes and sells himself in. He's a good 15 yards. He's a good 15 yards in the opposition half there, when he doesn't need to do that, and he leaves a huge gap down the middle. And you know, Finland are taking advantage of it. It's not a great finish, is it? You know, it's straight at Angus Gunn, but a big chance.
Here comes Hendry, slips it for Shankland on the first time ball. That's blocked. And Finland pick up possession and able to clear through Olila only as far as Gilmour. Chests it down for McGregor. Out to Robertson. McGregor once more picks up midway inside the Finnish half. Although Scotland have dominated possession, Finland should arguably be in front. Here comes Scotland though, looking to put themselves in front. Cleared away by Niskanen. Comes out to Tierney. Now Robertson gets it back to Tierney. Now McGinn on the edge of the box. So there's back to goal. Plays it out to Robertson. Takes a touch and then clips it into the penalty area. Christie trying to get the shot off. It's a tame one. Straight into the arms of Joronen in the Finnish goal. It's near post, and it remains with 36 on the clock. Scotland 0, Finland 0.
Excellent movement from Ryan Christie. It was good play from John McGinn initially, linking it out to Robertson. It's a really intelligent pass into the feet of Christie. He tries to get turned, but then he's really off balance at an acute angle as he tries to get the shot off and doesn't trouble the goalkeeper. Shot on target.
Willie, I know we're talking pre-match about, you know, who's going to be in the starting 11, and Tom was certainly thinking that Grant Hanley was. Is there a danger he he plays his way out of that starting 11?
I don't think it's been his best 37 minutes that we've played. A couple of occasions, maybe even 3, where his position's been poor, and I just can't understand why he's away, some 15 yards in the opposition half to try and win the ball, and it could be very costly. It seems to be a high line that Steve Clarke wants to play. For me, I think it's too high.
Here's Tierney. Is it square for Hendry, who's certainly been allowed to venture forward, as does Tierney. Here's Christie. Not a great ball for Ralston, who's offside, and that Scotland attack comes to an end, a frustrating end, with 7.5 minutes left in this first period.
That was a good turn initially from Christie, but Tony Ralston's got to look across the line and recognise that he's standing in an offside position. He just goes too early. If it delayed his run, the pass was on in between the full back and the centre half, but unfortunately he was away way too early.
Juronen takes the free kick, launches it forward. Pookie's on the chase, but Angus Gunn comes to the very edge of his box and collects that one, and then rolls it out to Callum McGregor, who immediately feeds it forward down the left-hand side. Just too much on it for Andy Robertson, out for a throw-in to Finland. Right idea, just a bit heavy with the pass. Celtic skipper there on his 60th cap for Scotland. Not too many have reached that. I think he's only the 11th outfield player to reach that particular milestone.
Good out.
Shankland back to Gilmore. Gilmore now coming forward. Again, he's looking for Shankland, who might just have gone a little bit too early as well, but the flag stays down. Now it's McGinn, left-hand side, back to Shankland on the angle of the box. Sweeps it in, looking for Ralston at the back post. It's headed away. Pookie can't get there. Hendry does, but he's heavy with his touch, and it's out for a throw-in on the far side.
It's interesting, when Lawrence picked that up there on the edge of the box, if he was playing for Hearts, he'd have looked to have hit a shot. But he lifts his head and tries to put the cross in. He'd have tried to find a way to get a shot off there for Hearts at the edge of the box.
Why do you think he's playing differently then for Scotland?
I don't really know. But I just feel, when you've seen goals this season from him when he picks the ball up on the edge of the box, his first thought is, can I get a shot off here? And initially he lifted his head and tried to put it into the box.
I mean, some people thrive on being the main man, don't they? Like, when the onus is on them, and now he's coming in and he's really still trying to make an impression in a Scotland jersey, and it's a different mindset altogether, isn't it?
I think sometimes you think that you've got to play differently, when really the reason you're in the team, the international team, is for what you've done at your club level, and you should just be trying to bring your club game to the international arena. And sometimes maybe players get carried away with the fact that they think they've got to change it a little bit and be a little bit more stylish, when really just do what you're good at. And that's why I was saying the other night for Shankland, just to try and be more in between the sticks and be there whenever anything comes into the box.
Niskanen has it for Finland, back to Hoskinen, who's probably come closer than any Scotland player to putting it past Jesse Juronen in the Finnish goal. Now it's Voisanen, still deep in his own half.
It's quite quiet in the stadium, that it really is. There's a kind of expectancy. They're just desperate for a goal or for an attempt on goal, or this crowd really, really quiet, different from what I was expecting for this send-off game.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where the players are looking to feed off the fans are looking to feed off the players, and neither is really happening just at the moment, as Finland knocked the ball about at the back with about 4 minutes left in the first period. It's brought forward by Leo Väisänen, who, like a number of his teammates, plays his football out in the USA, and then knocked back by another of those, Matti Peltola, 21-year-old, to his goalkeeper. Here comes Hoskinen. Scotland's not pressing Finland particularly high just at the moment. Niskanen will go all the way back to his goalkeeper. Shankland trying to call a few teammates further forward to try and make a bit of an impression, as Väisänen picks up once more and then goes again back to Juronen inside his own 6-yard box. All in orange, he knocks it long this time up towards Poyan Palo, 29-year-old striker. Scotland have it eventually back with Tierney, about 20 yards inside his own half, out to the left for Robertson on the halfway line, feeds it forward for McGinn. Can he make something happen here? Tries to go round Hoskinen, turns away also from Niskanen, then feeds it back at the edge of the box. Gilmore, why did he not take the shot on? He tried to play the pass and it was misplaced, and the crowd really wanted him to take a touch and just get a shot away. Here's Ralston, about 25 yards from goal, looking to find a pass forward. He has to go back the way to Hanley square to Tierney, midway inside the Finland half. Into McGinn it goes, at the edge of the box, out to the left for Robertson. Just tries to shape one in, but it's far too close to the goalkeeper, right into his arms. 2.5 minutes left of the half. Scotland 0, Finland 0.
They just don't have the answer, do they, to unlock the Finnish defence here? And they are well organised. They're not allowing Scotland too much room, too many opportunities, but they've got to do something different. I think, the fact that they're playing it wide and maybe not hitting the byline, just being quite content to play crosses in from a little bit deeper, and maybe not getting enough bodies in the box as well. And you are missing that kind of aerial threat in there too. So I think they have to change their tack a little bit. I think there's still a lot of good stuff being played out there in the first half, but I think getting into the second half, maybe a little change of tact is required.
Finland coming forward, looking to snatch the opening goal before half-time. They've certainly had opportunities to grab it already in the half. Steve Clark standing at the edge of his technical area like his opposite number, Markku Kanerva. Both men 60 years old. Steve Clark having notched his 25th victory for Scotland against Gibraltar, only the third Scotland manager to actually manage that, and being able to do it in his 54th game, as did Craig Brown. Jockstein took 61 games to get there. As Hanley picks up for Scotland midway inside his own half, approaching the final minute of the first period. Robertson now, and Scotland finished the first half on a high. McGinn with a misplaced pass, but he's won it back well at the edge of the box. Then he goes down looking for a free kick. He was encouraged to get back to his feet by the referee, and rightly so. He was going down very, very cheaply there. As Tierney though is working hard to win it back from Robin Laud. Laud does well and manages to get the ball to Niskanen, still deep in the Finland half. Back now with the goalkeeper Jesse Joronen out to the left hand side for Olila forward, and I think that's Maenpa is caught in the challenge there by Ralston. Finland free kick, 30 seconds remaining plus any added on time, which the officials seek to add on here.
Doubt there'll be much.
It's been an uninspiring first period, you'd have to say, as Finland bring it forward through Väisänen, and not forward, and well, absolutely zero. In fact, I think a few seconds short of the 45. The referee had seen quite enough of that. Yeah, Finland probably the better opportunities in that first half. Scotland started reasonably well and knocked the ball about well enough, but the final pass has really evaded them, and certainly a shot at goal has evaded them. Tierney had to block from Terho after 10 minutes, and then a Pukki header was saved. The only real look at the Finland goal came from a Hoskinen back pass, which Joronen had to react quickly to divert away, otherwise it would have been an own goal. At the other end though, Terho had another shot which was deflected off the boot of Tierney. Ended up being an easy enough save for Angus Gunn, but certainly the better opportunities have come the way of the Finns. And so at half-time in Hampden, it's Scotland 0, Finland 0.
The countdown to UEFA Euro 2024 lives here.
Oh, it's brilliant!
Scotland versus Finland, a warm-up friendly.
Wonderful goal for Scotland!
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
This summer,
Magnificent Scotland!
the European dream lives here.
The countdown.
They are romping to Germany!
The stories,
I'll be taking on the challenge of walking 1,000 miles from Glasgow to Munich.
The experience.
We're in Germany, happy days.
and the action.
And that could be monumental!
Supporting Scotland at UEFA Euro 2024.
History beckons!
BBC Radio Scotland.
So, goalless here at Hampden Park in the last of our warm-up matches before we head to the Euros. We get down to serious action next Friday evening against the host, Germany. the opening match of Euro 2024. It's been really poor fare, you'd have to say, here at Hampden Park. All a bit flat, the crowd desperate for something to get them going here, and it's not really happened. As the commentary team said, the better chances have fallen to Finland tonight. They look very decent in the break. One terrific block from Kieran Tierney after 10 minutes. Scotland, Ryan Christie's looked fairly creative, quite lively. Tom English, how many words have you been tasked with writing this evening? I think you're going to have to be very, very creative.
I don't know. I think I'm going to phone the office and tell them to cut it in half, whatever it is. Look, I'm optimistic. Maybe the second half we're going to see a few changes. We'll see a bit more energy in the team, a bit more incisiveness, a bit more precision, a bit more goal threat, because we haven't seen any of those things so far. It's been pass, no chances. You know, some of it has been tidy enough. Tierney, I think, has been excellent on the ball. Enjoyed watching him.
Ryan Christie, quite lively.
Ryan Christie, energetic. You know, there's plenty of energy in the team, but there's nothing. There's no goal threat. There's no power.
No.
You know, there's no power in the team, and there's no real that kind of hunger and desire to score. You know, that kind of mad intensity.
Now, is that understandable, Tom? A bit tentative given what's at stake next week.
Yeah, maybe it is, but this has been going on for a little while now. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they've been playing really well for quite a while, and tonight they're just having a kind of a quiet night because they know what's coming next Friday. This has been the way of it for a little while. It's a bit concerning.
The crowd, Willie, just desperate for something to get them going. There's a decent attendance in here tonight, and it's just not happened.
It's not. The goal threat's not there, is it? You know, I think they've been sent out there to play a very high line. I'm watching the back three. The back three are playing quite a lot in the Finnish half. You know, they're pushing, maybe 10 yards. In fact, Grant Hanley got himself well exposed by going maybe 15-20 yards and leaving a huge gap behind where the Finns had a good opportunity to take advantage of. But I'm quite enthused with the tempo of the game. I think the tempo is high. The quality of the passing is good. They're interlinking really well. The players' touch is good. They're controlling the ball. And we've got to give Finland a bit of credit here for how they've defended. Their back four with four in front have made it really difficult. But in saying that there hasn't been that creativity. I think we're taking the easy option in too many occasions just by throwing balls into the box. And we don't have a lot of height in there. It's not as if we've got a tall centre forward that you're trying to pick out, and the Finns are dealing with it quite easily. I just think it's got to be more creative in and around the penalty box, and I'm sure that's what Steve Clark will be saying at half time. I think he'll be happy enough with the general play, he'll be happy enough with the tempo, the effort that's been put in, but he'll know himself that it hasn't been creative enough, and that's really what you need to break down a defence like they're coming up against here. But the difference defensively from this team to Gibraltar is when they get the ball, they can do something with it, and they've had 3 or 4 good opportunities. Because we're playing that high line, it's affording them quite a lot of space going forward, and that's a bit concerning. I don't think in the opening game that we'll be playing as high line as what we've been playing, and try to press the ball in the opposition half, which would be a good thing, I would suggest. But that seems to be the tactic tonight, and it's allowing them opportunities. And if they'd have been a bit sharper, they might have taken 1 or 2. If Tierney hadn't read it as well as he did, to get the block in, it might have been a goal. If Grant Hanley, hadn't lost the ball over the top, and Pookie hadn't, mishit his lob, again, it might have been a goal too. So there's been, a few dangerous moments for Scotland defensively, and not enough creativity at the other end of the park.
Stephen Thompson, your thoughts on that first half performance?
I think there's some things to like and there's others not to like. I'll start with not to like. I agree that at the sharp end of the pitch we're looking bereft of ideas, creative ideas. Ryan Christie's trying his best. There's been a couple of occasions where we've got the ball in behind their defence in the box, but then not really managed to make anything of it. We are throwing crosses in, but the crosses aren't really pinpoint. You're not really picking anything out, you're just putting it into an area. A bit unlucky maybe not to get on the end of a couple of them. We're keeping good possession of the ball. We are playing high. We're trying to dominate possession in their half, but a lot of it sideways. And then when you are looking for the killer pass, the Finland team are set up well in a defensive shape, and they've really struggled to penetrate. Clear-cut chances have been at a premium. The concern is at the other end for me, because as much as, yes, we've dominated possession of the ball, the best chances in the game have fallen to Finland, and they really should have taken one of them. They've had 2 or 3 decent efforts on our goal, and the difference is, and I don't think there's absolutely no way we'll play a high aggressive line like this against Germany, but if you afford chances at the Euros to teams who are better than Finland and have more clinical players, then you will concede goals. I look at the team and I think, right, where's the goals coming from? And previously McTominay's given us a goal threat. John obviously has given us a goal threat. Lawrence up front, he's working his socks off. Again, the ball for some reason seems to kind of, when it comes into the box, never quite fall for him. He's just waiting on that one opportunity, but again, much like Monday night, it hasn't come for him. So then you look and say to yourself, right, how can we change this? Who are the players on the bench that are attacking, that could come in and be the creative types? And you're looking at James Forrest, Shea Adams, Conway, Lewis Morgan. But to get them into the team, you probably have to do a wee bit of a shape change. Not Shea Adams, obviously, or Conway, but to get Morgan and Forrest in, who are more wide players, then you would need to look at shuffling the shape of the side, which you're going to have to think about doing at some stage in the tournament. If we're in this scenario against Switzerland and we need to go and change it, and we've not been creating but we've not conceded, and we need to go and try and win the game, how do we do that? And these are what these games are for. I think that Steve Clarke should be looking, right, what can I do formation wise, personnel wise, in a game like this where we've not been creative, that's going to make us creative. And I don't think there's been anything wrong, as Willie says, with the tempo. At times the tempo's been good, the passing's been slick, it's been smart, but how do we affect the game better in the opposition box in final third?
You've got to feel, Tom, a bit sorry for Lawrence Shankland. He's got to be frustrated. I think we had one half-decent chance against Gibraltar. Nothing's really fallen for him tonight, and he knows he's got to create an impression.
Yeah, it's... You look at the games that he's played, he kind of one chance, albeit a very good chance against the Netherlands. He hit the crossbar. As you said, nothing on Monday night, nothing tonight. It's he's finding out what it's like now to be a Scotland striker. You gotta live on morsels, and there's just nothing. There's nothing happening for him. He's working hard enough. He's trying to get involved in the play, but he hasn't had a break. Lawrence Shankland is a guy who needs a break. A ball to break to him in the box. And it was interesting what the lads were saying. He was on the edge of a box, and I was thinking the same thing. If he was playing for Hearts, he'd have had a cut off that, and he wouldn't have minded if it ballooned it over the bar. He wouldn't have cared less. But for Scotland, maybe it's that hesitant thing. Maybe he doesn't want to look foolish. Big stage, Germany coming up, played the safer option, and there's a bit of that going on from others as well.
What about Tony Ralston? Well, we spoke before about the opportunity in that right wing back position. He's made himself available. A couple of decent crosses. Has he impressed you at all?
I think he's done okay. Yeah, a bit like McCrory. He's got himself into good positions. He looks, a strong, powerful player, which we know he is. He's very decent in the ball, good experience, and he can deliver the ball into the box. But just do more. I think that's what we're looking for in the second half, is for everybody to do that a little bit more, be a little bit more creative, try to manoeuvre some kind of, even if it's just a simple 1-2 to open them up, because they find it too easy to defend against us because we haven't made them think enough, and we haven't been thinking enough in how to be creative, how to open them up, how to create opportunities for Shankland. Probably Christie's been the one that looks maybe the more likely to do something that little bit special. But there's still time in the second half. I'm still optimistic. I think generally the football has been good, but disappointing at both ends of the park. Disappointing defensively, and obviously in the box, and that's when it counts, that's when it matters, and they haven't got that right.
Would you expect, Stephen, wholesale changes in the second period?
I don't know, because the point of tonight was to play a team with a familiarity going into next Friday. I think he would probably give the players on the pitch the opportunity to go and try and get a goal and maybe look at changing things after 60 minutes or so, but I could be miles off it. I'd like to see Lewis Morgan. I'd like to see Tommy Conway. I'd imagine Shea Adams will get on the pitch. Hopefully Forrest too. I've really no idea, but what we need to do is to be not more clinical, because we've not had the opportunities to be clinical, but to be more creative and inventive when we are putting Finland under pressure. And you know, Alasdair made a good point. The crowd are waiting for the players, and the players are waiting for the crowd. We're all waiting on something happening, and so far it hasn't happened. And you know, tonight I was expecting the atmosphere. At the start of the game it was, and then it just drifted and drifted, and I took my earphones off at one stage during the first half to hear the atmosphere in the crowd, because you can't usually tell through your ears unless it's really loud. And it was quiet, and I thought, this isn't what this is meant to be. This is meant to be this big celebration. Here we go, we're going to Germany. So we need to see that in the second half, and I think that'll be getting reiterated by Steve Clarke in the changing rooms down below us, that you know, the fans are here for this send-off. Let's give them something to celebrate.
It'd be such a shame, Tom, if that's the way it turns out after the 90 minutes here tonight, because we heard earlier on the highs, some fantastic highs of the qualifying campaign. It's not been great in the friendly matches. We know we don't do well in the friendlies. Actually, probably our best performance was in that Netherlands game. Really good possession of the ball in that match. But it's important to get the right send-off here tonight, about getting some momentum to go to Germany. It's all a bit flat, and that'll be hugely disappointing for these players when they leave the pitch tonight.
Yeah, completely. I mean, the performance in Amsterdam for 70 minutes was streets ahead of this.
Yeah.
And that was against a good Netherlands team away from home. I don't know, it's just something has gone a little bit flat for Scotland in recent times, you know. And in some of the earlier games, they were creating chances but just weren't taking them. For example, Gibraltar the other night. But tonight there's been no chances, really, and nothing to take. So it's just been flat. It's been a lot of possession, a lot of tippy-tappy stuff, but really nothing for the crowd to get their teeth into. Very little excitement. Hopefully it'll change in the second half. I would, like the boys, I'd like to see Conway coming on. I'd like to see Morgan coming on. I'd like to see a number of players coming on. Throw them in there, shake it up a little bit. This was a match that needs to be shaken up big style.
Well, the DJ's doing his best. He's playing the old classics here. Look, Lamont on right now.
Not many takers.
No, they're not exactly bouncing around us, I'd have to say. Well, it's interesting because you guys had a good debate during commentary about a player potentially playing himself out of the starting lineup for next Friday night. And Grant Hanley's had a bit of a shaky first half.
I would say, yeah. I think it has been shaky. And I think it's because he wants to play that high line. He wants to get, you know, so close to an opponent that, you know, the opponent at times is taking him out of the game just by a simple manoeuvre, just by using his body, or just ignoring it and the ball going over the top of his head. And the one in particular that went over his head and he seemed to lose it in the air. That's dangerous, you know. It's dangerous against a, you know, good opposition. And Pukki should have done better. You know, he tries to lob, puts it over the bar. But, you know, at this level, you give the opposition chances like that, then invariably and normally they put them in the back of the net. So he's fortunate to get away with that. The other one was when he went away into his own half. Didn't have to do it.
Well, let's hope it gets better in the second period. Let's get back to our commentary team of Willie Miller, Stephen Thompson and Alasdair Lamont.
Thanks again, Kenny. Just one change at the break, and it's for Finland, and it's in goal, and it's former Ayr United loanee Viljami Sinisalo, whose parent club is Aston Villa. He's come on for Jesse Joronen for the second half. Scotland are as you were, as Finland do get us back underway with Nilo Maenpan rolling it back the way. So Scotland going from left to right as we look at it from high up in the main stand for this second period, as we hope for Scotland goals and you know, an improved performance.
We'd settle for some better chances.
Well, here's Grant Hanley, who'll be looking to up his performance, certainly at the heart of that Scotland backline. Hendry for Gilmore, forward for McGinn, just tries to poke it back to Gilmore, but succeeds only in giving possession to Timo Pukki coming down this left-hand side for Finland. Picked up there by Maenpa, and now Olila at left back. Finland will be, I would imagine, pretty pleased by the way they played in that first period. But, they've lost possession, and it's Andy Robertson driving Scotland forward here, the captain, trying to play a captain's role. Out to Christie on the left. His attempt to cross is blocked. It'll come back to Christie though. And now McGregor picks up and rolls it back to Hanley at the edge of the centre circle. Quickly to Hendry. Hendry looks forward and into the feet. On McGinn he goes. McGinn just nudges it to Gilmour. Gilmour out to the left-hand side. He fires it where Christie takes it on the left thigh. Tries to move away from Terholt. Gets it back to Tierney. Tierney into the feet. Now Tierney, who almost got away there. It was Robertson actually at the edge of the box. It's been given away though to McGregor. McGregor dinks it into the box, knocked away. Gilmour with a shot, saved by Sinunsalo. Best effort from Scotland so far, and it's come in the second minute. Billy Gilmour, the left-footed volley, but Sinunsalo with a pretty comfortable push away to his left-hand side. We'll get the guys taking that in just a second as Scotland come once more. Hendry. Better stuff from the Scots. Hendry lifts it into the penalty area. Shankland gets his head to over the top. Scotland 0, Finland 0, but better stuff from the Scots.
Yeah, a bright start to the second half from us. On the previous chance, it was a poor ball in from Callum McGregor. It was headed out to the edge of the box. Billy Gilmour did well to take it down and get the shot off. Don't think it was ever really going to go in, but it was a good save from the goalkeeper, and that one there flashed into the box. A really difficult chance.
That's poor from Finland. Christie could be in here. Also Gilmour battling away. Just wouldn't fall for either of them. Finland scramble it clear, having almost presented Scotland with a golden opportunity there. And here come the Scots once more. Robertson with time to measure across. In at the back post. That was a big chance. Hendry gets the shot off, claffs it and hacked away. There was big calls there for a penalty. As is it Ralston who was arriving at the back post, and he's now off the field and holding his head. But there was claims that he was being held as he tried to attack the ball at the back post. Whatever happened, he didn't get a clean effort in, and he seems to have hurt himself here, Tony Ralston. Scotland come again down the left-hand side. This time it's Robertson onto the roof of the net. Ralston's back on his feet and he's back in the field of play as the medics come round to see if he needs treatment. But O'Varr will take a look at this, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it looked as though he was getting himself in front of the defender, and there might have been some contact as the cross came into the back post. He does well to get in there, and I think there's maybe a little bit of a tug. I don't know if there's enough for Ralston to go down the way he goes down. There is a kind of a push tug, but he's up in the air as well. We're seeing a replay here. He is up in the air when he's going for the ball. He doesn't seem to be, in a good balance position himself. So I think it's more of a fall than a push.
Yeah, he was certainly off balance, wasn't he? He didn't need much of a nudge from the Finnish player, Pat, to send him over as he tried to just knock it back into a dangerous area, but he did well to get in at the back post. He just couldn't create the opportunity. But Scotland have started the second half brightly, and here they come once more down the right hand side, and it is Ralston who looks to have recovered there from the knock he took. He's back with Hendry, halfway line, infield to Gilmour, who's already looking to join in with the attack a bit more, and he's fired one of those fabulous balls across right to left, taken down by Robertson, and now it's Tierney forward looking for Christie. Christie has got away from his marker, tried to get a second man who was Hoskinen, who knocks it behind for a corner.
Well, you can listen to the crowd. They're enjoying what they're seeing at the start of this second half. Christie does well to ride the challenge, but he should have cut it back to Lawrence Shankland. They made good movement for the cut back. He goes to take an extra touch, draws in the tackle, and we win the corner.
Corner kick left hand side, taken short to Christie and back to McGinn. What can they work here? Back out to Robertson left hand side, and now it's Christie, just a little bit too much on it, and it's well read there by Poyan Palo, the striker, going back, doing the defending, plays it off Robertson for a Finland goal kick. And Scotland, I mean, they've got Austin McPhee, who's their set piece technician, and they're clearly trying to set something up from the training ground. It
was close to coming off. Close to coming off. You can see what they were trying. A wee triangular passing shape to try and draw Finland out and get us in behind them. It was just the overhit pass. But I think there's been maybe a wee rocket from Steve Clarke at half time, because the start of this second half certainly been all Scotland so far. You can see there's an increase in energy, and certainly there is inside the stadium.
A bit more intent as well, isn't it? Billy Gilmour having the two opportunities, the two shots from just to the edge of the box, so he's taking part and wants you know, try to get that defence thinking a little bit more. And I do think that the Finnish defence have had to think a bit more at the beginning of this second half than they did in the first half. So, you know, Scotland have been, the tempo has been at a high level again, but they've been far more creative. They've managed to conjure up some little spaces in behind and get some decent chances.
Here's Christie, 1-2 with Shanklin is nice. Forward comes Christie, plays Shanklin again. Can he hold off his marker? No, he can't. It's good strength actually from Hoskinen there to just hold off Shanklin as he looked to latch on to the second ball from Christie, and it's knocked out of play eventually for another Scotland corner on this right hand side. Good defending, Willie.
Yeah, very good defending. Hoskinen, it was to good strength, because it looked as though Shanklin was going to get the better of him, you know, making the little run down the side of him, but he was strong, he was quick, and he was under control.
McGinn's corner, left-footed in swinger, but it's met at the near post by Poyenpalo, knocked away. It'll come back out to this near side. It'll be a Finland throw-in though. It's another Scotland corner that comes to nothing. We've played 52 minutes here at Hampden. It's Scotland 0, Finland 0, but a better start to the second half. More, as Willie says, intent from Scotland than they showed in the entire first period, as Pukki is knocked off the ball by Hendry, and then it's knocked out of play, and it'll be a Finland throw-in. Pukki came on to score a couple of goals against Portugal to make it 42 in his 121 internationals. Not a bad record by any stretch of the imagination. That's a heavy challenge there on Ralston. You might have heard the scream from Ralston, and there's a yellow card coming out there for Mayenpa, which the referee had been reluctant to get his cards out. Not that there's been too many challenges like that, but that one was over the ball, and Ralston has really felt that, and we just have to hope that that is not another bad injury for a Scotland player.
He's sitting up. I think he's going to be okay. We only saw it from behind, but get a better look at it now. It's just a follow through.
Yeah.
He gets to the ball first as the Finnish player, and then his foot rides up off the ball. I don't think there's a lot of force in it, and Ralston thankfully is back on his feet.
A good squeal though, wasn't it?
Oh, you can hear it from up here, aye. Maybe that shows you how quiet the stadium is.
It just shows you that our engineer's got a good effects, Mike.
Yes.
Here's Gilmore for Tierney, and out to the left-hand side for Robertson. Angle of the box on the left, back with Tierney. Tierney just tries to slot it through for Robertson. Robertson across, goes, deflected in! It's an own goal, Scotland are in front! It was all about the interchange between Robertson and Tierney, and then the early ball in from Robertson, and the defender just stuck out a leg to divert it past Sunisalo in the Finland goal, and at last Scotland have a reward for their enterprising play at the start of the second period. Hoskinen, the unfortunate defender, who diverts it past his keeper. It's Scotland 1, Finland 0.
When you drive it across the face of the goal like that, then anything's possible, and Hoskinen just gets himself in a poor position. But it's a great little pass in behind from Tierney to Robertson, isn't it? And Robertson, you know, seeing the opportunity, getting there, drilling it across the face of the goal. Got to say, Hoskinen will be bitterly disappointed he didn't deal with that better, and he sends it into the roof of his own goal. But it's a breakthrough that Scotland would be looking for.
Sure is. Hoskinen, he's played well actually. We just were praising him a moment ago for the way he shepherded Lawrence Shanklin away from goal, but I
think he had to get something on it, because Lawrence was actually lurking just behind him.
Yeah.
So he was forced to kind of make a decision, and unfortunately for him, it spun off his right foot into the net. Fortunately for us though, it's not a goal scorer for Scotland, but we'll take it.
Yeah, but Scotland's enterprise is rewarded. Andy Robertson, who did put in a lot of good deliveries against Gibraltar, put in another one there, and on his 71st cap, well, he certainly has an assist for that own goal, the captain. And he's about to take a throw in here, but 1-0 Scotland with 10 minutes of the second half played. In fact, they're going to leave the throw in to Tierney. But the Tartan Army at last have a goal to cheer, and you can hear that has roused them, and Turnham's exactly what we were talking about in the first half. And as you mentioned again at half time, they do have something now tangible to get behind. Shanklin for Ralston. Steve Clark and John Carver as assistant out in the middle of the technical area, just discussing how they might progress from here as Finland prepare to make a change with Oliver Antman ready to come on, but perhaps not before. They've got a bit more defending to do. It's McGinn gets the diving header after Robertson again gets to the byline, and it's over the top as Timo Pukki is about to make way. Is that smoke getting to your
something went up my nose, yeah. But again, down that left-hand side, it's where we've looked most dangerous all evening. Again, lovely ball over the top, the cross coming in from Robertson. It's behind John McGinn. He's never going to get that in target. If he does, it's a miracle, but he gets ahead to it and flies over the bar.
It's the end of the evening for Timo Pukki, and on comes Oliver Antman of North Shalland, 22-year-old winger. So he'll just occupy that left wing where Pukki was playing. Scotland yet to make a change, but you can be sure there'll be some coming. Steve Clarke will be very pleased that Scotland have got that opening goal, and perhaps now they will begin to...
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he just gave Hanley the 60 minutes. He gave him 45 the other night. That'll be 45 and 60 before the big tournament starts.
Just keep him for the Germany game.
I'd say so.
Christie with a terrific switch of play. Can Ralston catch this one? He can. He's kept it in play. Right-hand side, almost at the goal line. Scotland will get bodies in the middle. Can Ralston pick one out? Headed away by Hoskinen. Only as far as Robertson, who plays it back into the middle. It's a goal! God! Brilliant finish, and it's Lawrence Shankland inside the 6-yard box, heading emphatically past Sinisalo. And all of a sudden, it's all going right for the Scots. It's Scotland 2, Finland 0.
He's been crying out for that for the last 2 games. And he'd been thinking to himself, this chance is going to pass me up. It was a fabulous ball into the back post, but Lawrence's movement was excellent. He managed to spin his defender. And then he still had a bit of work to do because it wasn't easy. He was slightly out of shape as he headed it. It comes in the second cross, actually. The first cross came in from Ralston, went all the way over everybody. And as it's recycled into the box, Lawrence does really well to get away from his marker, drifts to the back post. The ball's inch perfect from Robertson. Fantastic header. Delighted for him.
Yeah, and it's been a good start to that second half, isn't it? And defensively poor, I would say, from Finland, but Shankland had to work him. He had to work the defender there. He does extremely well to get round the back of him. And he's under pressure. There's arms all over him as he dives to put that one into the back of the net with a forehead. Really good header. Magnificent delivery as well from Robertson too, wasn't it, for Shankland to take advantage of.
Third Scotland goal for Lawrence Shankland on his 11th international appearance, and there was no stopping that one once he slammed the header in from 4 or 5 yards out, just getting goal side of Nilo Mayenpa, the midfielder who was trying to pick Shankland up, but he was no match for the Hearts captain and talisman, and he does what he does best by notching yet another goal for this season. And what a season it has been.
33 now, is that?
Yeah, including international goals, it certainly is. As Finland look to try and respond, and it's the substitute Antman picking up against Ralston on the left-hand side. Just nudges it back to Mayenpa. Mayenpa in for Peltola. It'll come once again for Mayenpa, and it comes off a Scotland player, and it'll be a Finland corner. 2-0 they trail, and all of a sudden it's a very, very different story here at Hampden.
Well, it is, and you know, I think we're pretty buoyed by the performance in the first half up to the penalty box, and you know that's changed. It's changed in the second half. They've been more decisive. They've been more creative as well. Even just the little simple things like 1-2s and being a little bit more precise, as Stephen was saying in the first half. That Shankland was just looking for somebody to put the ball onto his head, and that's what's happened.
In comes the corner from the left-hand side. Scotland looking to deal with that and keep another clean sheet as they did against Gibraltar. They've cleared their lines up towards Christie. He can't quite hold on to it, and Finland pick up possession once more. It's 1-1 between Germany and Greece, incidentally, out in the second half in Mönchengladbach in the friendly there. Their last game as well before they face the Scots in Munich a week from tonight. Looks like the Scots are planning a couple of changes right now. Actually, it's going to be Greg Taylor, and it's going to be a Scotland debut for Tommy Conway, a young man called up from the under-21s, Bristol City striker. Just a word of encouragement there from his fellow sub Greg Taylor and the manager.
Be good to see him. Be good to see him in the flesh for 30 minutes, see what he offers.
Here's Shanklin having got that goal. Looks like he might make ways. Found Ralston here. Ralston into the box. Back post ball. Christie with the header straight into the arms of City Sallow. This is a different Scotland second half, Willie.
Without doubt. I mean, they're on fire. The tempo's high again, but you know, the use of the ball is much better. Even the crosses from deep like that one there for Christie, and now Christie takes on that defender as well and just rises above him and, you know, gets a decent header. It's straight at the goalkeeper, unfortunately for him, but yeah, they're playing with a lot of spirit. They're playing with a lot of creativity. They're actually looking dangerous in the final third as well. That's something they didn't look like in the first half, so it's all changed round. Of course, when you get the goals too, and Lawrence Shanklin will be feeling hell of a good about himself, you know, finishing that one, getting the header in too. So as far as Steve Clarke's concerned, he's played Shanklin, he's given them the opportunity. You know, strikers kind of thrive in goals, and Shanklin is thriving at this moment.
Here come the changes, and it's going to be Andy Robertson who will make way for Greg Taylor. And listen to the ovation for the Scotland captain involved in both of the goals. And Lawrence Shanklin also will be replaced by Tommy Conway. Scotland debut then for the young man.
What a moment for him. Playing for the 21s last week. Don't think he would have envisaged this. Called into the squad and given his Scotland debut 30 minutes to go and show what he can do. Amazing for him.
Qualifies through his granddad, who was born in Stirling. He himself was born in Taunton. He's been at Bristol City since he was 7. Come through the ranks and made himself very much a first team pick now as Finland play the free kick into the penalty area, away by Hanley, and the offside flag is up anyway, and Scotland will have a free kick. Do you remember your Scotland debut, chaps?
Certainly do. I think they get pumped 5-0 by France.
Very memorable. Here's McGinn looking for Conway to make an immediate impact. He won't quite latch onto that as City Sallow comes off his line, and Tom English steals a couple of Tomo's minstrels to boot. Just the 5.
One for every French goal in my debut.
What about your debut, Willie? I know that's a bit further back.
Don't you start. Look, I can join the ranks of Tomo here and give you a hard time, but I won't. Romania 1-1. Midfielder played the role of Billy Bremner, who was in the Leeds team that got beat in the European Cup.
Well, that's something else. Here come Finland looking to get a goal back here. And they've curled one in, and the offside flag goes up.
Wow.
Well, just as well it did, because Robin Lord has curled an absolute perler beyond that gets done. And let's see what VAR has to say about that, because if that stands, that is a cracking goal.
Looked tight.
It looked as though he was on. Might be just wrong. We'll have
he's a fraction off.
Fraction off. What a strike though, wasn't it?
Some finish.
Absolutely.
It was so nonchalant as well,
yeah.
Almost as if he knew he was offside and he was just going to, I'm just going to hit this anyway.
You can see the funny side of it. He's got a smile on his face.
Robin Lord is going to be denied his 7th goal for his country, but what a goal that would have been had it stood. Angus Gunn had absolutely no chance as he threw himself to his left.
And the VAR check only took about 10 seconds.
Yeah. Out of play over on the far side. Craig Gordon, incidentally, has been warming up, and it looks like he is going to, as we were led to believe, make an appearance here at some stage pretty shortly, and it will be a 75th international cap. It's a move that has, I think, attracted mixed opinions in terms of the sentiment involved and the worthiness of it, but looks like it's going to happen anyway, as Finland themselves plan 3 changes, but Scotland have possession. We've played 65 minutes, it's 2-0 Scotland, both goals coming in the second half, both coming from Andy Robertson crosses. The first an own goal of Hoskinen, and then Shanklin just before he was substituted, headering past City Sallow. There's a lovely turn there by Billy Gilmore that earned applause from the Tartan Army ranks here at Hampden. Tierney now crossing the halfway line as Scotland look to add to their tally. Tierney just going back the way for the moment, McGregor, and then Hanley, and Craig Gordon is making his way into the technical area. Gets a big handshake there from Steve Clark. Certainly doesn't look to be any hard feelings there. If Craig Gordon, again as we're told, is going to be one of the players to drop out of the 28 for it to become 26 by tonight at midnight, when the official squad lines have to be submitted, although there was talk of a slight delay being allowed because teams were playing tonight. Scotland then coming forward. McGinn, left hand side of the penalty area, and it comes, knocked away, and Finland can try and come forward through Terho. Feeds that one forward. Angus Gunn's come a long way, and he will eventually take charge as Hendry just saw off Antman here out on this left hand side. So a couple of Scotland changes coming. Ryan Jack's also going to come on, and who's coming on for Finland? Kalman, Galvez and Talviti. But here comes Scotland against Ryan Christie. His shot's blocked. Comes back to Conway, edge of the box, left hand side. Christie once more, and now McGregor. McGregor just outside the box. Now it's Taylor. Back to Tierney. Tierney tries to thread it through. It's Conway. He's onside. Can he get a shot off? It's blocked behind as a young man tries to mark his debut with a goal. Scotland corner, and here come the changes.
He really received the ball very well in the box, managed to get turned straight away. Only one thing in his mind was getting a shot off on his left foot. Tight angle was blocked for the corner. 3 changes for you to enjoy, Alasdair, from Finland.
Yeah, well, I've told you the players who are coming on, so I'll just try and keep a lid on who's coming on. Off, it's Poyan Palo who's going to be replaced there by Kalman. That's a straight swap up front. And Craig Gordon and Ryan Jack preparing to come on for Scotland, and also coming off is Nilo Maenpa. He is going to be replaced by Talviti. And now let's acknowledge Craig Gordon here as he replaces Angus Gunn. 75th Scotland cap for the 41-year-old who becomes Scotland's oldest ever player. Listen to this.
Bittersweet moment for him. You know, this no doubt will be his last cap. He's been a great servant to Scotland, a phenomenal goalkeeper, one of many that we've had in the last decade or so. An excellent career for the national team. Yeah, what a reception, well deserved.
41 years, 159 days, overtaking Davy Weir as the oldest ever Scotland player. And he will take his place between the posts for the final 20 minutes and a bit more. And you can hear one Craig Gordon going round the stands here at Hampden. The fans acknowledging his contribution. And he may have a bit of work here to do as Kalman comes forward and he's into the box. Can he get the shot away? He can, and Gordon has to touch it off the post and behind. Kalman at a very tight angle. Hendry eventually forcing him almost onto the goal line, but he got the shot off and Gordon was called into action.
It was, you know, he's just on the pitch as well, isn't he? He's taking the applause. It's emotional moment for him. Kalman down, it's Hanley, I'm afraid to say again, that gets himself turned, and it's a big chance. And Craig Gordon
the offside flag has gone up as Finland again
opportunity there. Yeah, but Craig Gordon, he actually diverts it onto the post, doesn't he?
It's actually a good save.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I did clarify this. Ryan Jack came on for Billy Gilmore in the midst of all that as Craig Gordon replaced Angus Gunn. So 2-0 Scotland, and we've got about 20 minutes left in the game. It's been a much better second half, particularly the start to the second half. Maybe the tempo's dropped just a little bit again after Scotland got those 2 goals.
That was a big chance though, that one. That Craig Gordon makes a save. a big opportunity, an opportunity that would give you a little bit of concern, I think, when you go into the games proper in the Euros defensively. Although we've not lost any goals tonight, there certainly have been opportunities for that to happen.
Yeah, sure have. Finland pick up in the middle of the park. Here's Antman, who's seen a fair bit of the ball since coming on. Now Galvez. McGregor, though, with the interception. Can't quite keep a hold of it, though. Antman picks up once more, looking to get it onto the right foot, and he curls it in towards the back post. A glancing header is a goal. That one is going to count, and it's the substitute Kalman who's just on the field of play with a glancing header. It's a terrific ball in from Antman, and the header from Kalman away past Craig Gordon to the left-hand side. He couldn't get down quickly enough, the veteran keeper, and it's Scotland 2, Finland 1.
He's taken it well, though, hasn't he, the sub Kalman? He's drifted, found the space, pocket of space, a real threat for the first opportunity, and this time he makes no mistake.
Onside he was as well, yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic header, a wonderful ball in. We've just gone a wee bit ragged in the last 5-10 minutes. You think about the goal, it was just offside, the chance there that Craig Gordon had to make the save from, and that one actually maybe comes off his shoulder, but it goes in the bottom corner regardless. Just a wee bit of our performance levels have dropped. Maybe it was the substitutions, I don't know.
He knows what he wants to do, though, doesn't he? It does come off his shoulder, I think, but he knows the corner low, where he can see the opportunity for himself, and he takes it really calmly. Okay, it's maybe not a thing of beauty, but I'll tell you what, that's him just on the field of play. He's had 2 big chances, he's taken one of them.
Yeah, it was a good finish, really was, and he had a spell at Dundee, Benjamin Kalman, but now with Cracovia in Poland, and he's got his 7th international goal, having just come off the bench. Really well taken, well created as well by Antman, who's looked lively since coming on this left-hand side. So 2-1 Scotland leads with 17 minutes left to play, and Craig Gordon beaten just within minutes of coming on. Not the way he wanted to mark what looks like his international bow. Tony Ralston going down under a challenge there, wins his side a free kick about 10 yards inside his own half. John Carver having a word there with the 4th official about something. Pretty heated stuff it is. Play continues as Kieran Tierney picks up, knocks it back to Hanley. Hendry. Jack took it under a lot of pressure there, but managed to get the pass away. Peltola was trying to close him down. Scotland come forward, but yeah, I mean, whether it's the substitutions or not, the energy that we had at the start of the second half has certainly gone. Yeah,
we're not as fluid as we were. That's 100%. At the start of the second half, we were playing all of our football in their half, in their final third, creating opportunities. We just seem to have lost our way a wee bit.
They've changed as well, though. They've been more attack-minded, haven't they? And because there's a problem or two defensively where, they've only done that in a break, but, they've got many more bodies forward than what they had for most of the game. You're looking at, 3 and 4 bodies forward rather than 1 and 2.
Well, they might as well. Nothing particularly to lose. And Scotland have it on the halfway line through Hendry. 15 to play, 2-1 Scotland lead. All the goals coming in this second period as Ralston picks up and tries to drive it. Oscar Galvez, who's a Man City youngster. Ralston initially lost it to him, but manages to get it back, and now it's McGinn. McGinn plays it more or less square to Tierney. Tierney clips it out to the left-hand side to Taylor, the man who took his left-back berth at Celtic. Here is Taylor once more getting to the byline. A cross goal was straight into the arms there of Sinisalo. He got himself in a good position, but couldn't pick out a teammate. And forward come Finland immediately as Kalman tries to bring the ball under control, but he's fouled Kieran Tierney, and it'll be a Scotland free kick. 75 on the clock, Scotland 2, Finland 1.
He maybe needs to cut that one back rather than driving it straight at the goalkeeper, Taylor. I mean, he does well to get there, and good play. Little 1-2 in behind again. It's very simple stuff. Finland exposed, but you know, maybe just better use from Greg Taylor from that area. It's got to be, I think, in that occasion, cut back rather than drill straight at the keeper.
Here's Tierney, threads it forward for Christie, and now out to the left-hand side for Taylor. McGregor back to Tierney on the halfway line. Steve Clark, no doubt, and his defenders will be annoyed at having failed to keep a clean sheet yet again. That one against Gibraltar was the first in 8. Looking to preserve another one, but wasn't to be.
I'd be more annoyed at the chances, the amount of chances that they've created. If you sit down, you know, in a dark room and look over the opportunities, you're talking about a good handful. The goal that was chalked off, very tight decision, the save from Craig Gordon when he was just on the field of play, and the 2 or 3 chances in the first half as well. So, you know, I think that side of it has been concerning. I think the rest of it has been pretty good, and it's been easy in the eye to watch and pretty slick play. But defensively, we haven't been great tonight, I don't think.
There's Ralston, just inside his own half, was backed away to Hendry. Hendry switches play to Tierney, brings it forward towards the halfway line and drives it into the feet of Christie. Just manages to squeeze it through to McGinn, who funnels it out to Ralston. Ralston 25 yards from goal, not a great cross, headed away, but picked up by Jack. Ralston once more into the feet of Christie, back to McGregor, and now McGinn on the edge of the box, trying to twist away from his marker, goes back to Tierney instead. Taylor's available, here is Taylor, left hand side, back with Tierney, midway inside the Finnish half, looking to try and take on his man. Then he goes inside to McGinn, still with his back to goal. Just slips it back through for Tierney, beautifully from McGinn. His cross is charged down by Talviti. It'll be a Scotland corner, but better play again from Scotland.
Yeah, well, it was really good play from John McGinn and Kieran Tierney down at left-hand side. We've been in that left-hand side a number of times in this second half, getting in behind the fullbacks with a lovely combination play. Kieran Tierney possibly could have just crossed it a wee touch earlier, hesitated slightly, allowed the defender to go over and make a block. More changes for you, Al.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to delay it until after this corner, but they're not. They're going to bring these 2 players on as Ryan Christie departs, and on will come Lewis Morgan for his first appearance since his debut, and only 2 appearances out in the short tour of Central and South America back in 2018 against Peru and then Mexico. And on he comes now, late call-up and a chance to make an impact. Looks like he's going to be going through the Euros. The other player to be replaced is Grant Hanley. Scott McKenna coming on for him for these closing stages. And well, we can chat about Lewis Morgan again in a moment after this corner kick, which has been taken from the left-hand side. Near post ball is headed away by Galvez. Knocked out to the right-hand side now for Jack. Jack nods it down to McGinn. McGinn with an opportunity to cross, but he goes back to Jack. Jack plays it short infield to Ralston, and McGinn once more. McGinn 25 yards from goal. Ralston. Scotland don't seem to want to put it back in the penalty, and now Ralston takes the opportunity to do so. It's a deep ball and it's headed behind by Galvez. It will be another Scotland corner. 2:1:79 on the clock.
That needs a better delivery though this time, the corner, doesn't it? You know, the first one not great in terms of quality, hitting the first defender at the near post, and it's got to be better. It's got to be better to, you know, allow the Scottish strikers to go and try to get ahead on it.
And comes a corner again, and it was all the way through to Jack at the back post, and he's really got to do better than head it well wide in the end. He had found himself a bit of space. This is Finland prepared to make another change. It's Leo Walter who's coming on for Nilo Mayenpa. That looked like a chance to
me. It was a decent chance. The ball was floating high to the back post, and the defender got himself wrong side for some incredible reason. Jack had a kind of half free header, back post, slight angle, but just got it all wrong. Headed it down into the ground 2-3 yards past the post.
It's quite a story for Lewis Morgan, isn't it? I mean, he looked to be well out of Steve Clark's thoughts. He hadn't been called up in the whole time that the current manager's been in charge, and all of a sudden he looks like he finds himself going to a major tournament.
Yeah, I'm delighted for him. It's absolutely brilliant. He's been doing well over in America, there's no doubt about that. But it's great to see him back in the international setup. He's a player that's got real speed, got to rely for goal as well, and he'll certainly be looking to make the most of his last 10-12 minutes that he's got.
It's Finland in possession, looking to try and grab themselves an equaliser. 10 minutes to play. Just incidentally, Craig Gordon's been given the armband for the closing stages of the game. Another mark of respect for his long Scotland career. It started just over 20 years ago when he made his debut against Trinidad and Tobago, and it looks like it's probably coming to an end tonight, although when you're talking about Craig Gordon's story, which has been a long one and it's had a few twists in there, so don't rule out another one as Scotland come forward. It is Morgan looking to find McGinn, well knocked away by Galvez. And as far as Taylor, and Morgan picks up again. It's a just overhit towards the back post. Ralston couldn't make it, and he's behind for a goal kick, but an immediate impact there for Morgan.
Very positive, isn't it? And you know, a decent cross to the back post. You know, Conway's not far away from it either, and Ralston's up there too. Just a little bit fortunate he couldn't find a head, but yeah, you know, an instant impact down that left-hand side.
Finland have it through Peltola in the middle of the park, out to the left-hand side to Walter for Antman, who created that one Finland goal, and he's trying to create another here. Gets it into towards the back post. Niskanen picks up on the angle of the box, right-hand side, goes it back the way to Nod, and that's a lovely ball. And Gordon comes, he got something. It's a penalty. Gordon's been penalised for the challenge there on Galvez. He's protesting his innocence here. Looked like he got something on the ball, although he also collided with the player. But the referee took a second or two and then pointed to the spot. And Finland look like they're going to have an opportunity here as Craig Gordon showed a yellow card to add insult to injury. Looks like they're going to have the opportunity to equalise here.
It was a 50-50 ball. It was a lovely ball played in. I'm not sure who gets there first. We need to see the angle here. It's very difficult to see.
I don't think Craig gets anything on it, though,
do you know?
He's gone with his two hands there, and
that angle there's not great.
Yeah,
that angle there's not great.
He's taken the
I mean, it's brave from both players.
Oh yeah,
to go for it. It was a 50-50. It's just whether or not Craig catches the Finnish player's head with a double-fisted punch before the Finnish player makes any contact with it. VAR certainly looking at it, but it doesn't look like it's going to get turned round.
It's a Polish video assistant referee, Peter Lasek, who is in discussion with his countryman Lukasz Kuszma now, who's pointed to the spot initially at least and given the Scotland captain Craig Gordon a yellow card, and this is not the way he wanted things to end. The referee explaining his decision to Craig Gordon. It looks like it's going to stand. The referee's asking the rest of the players to come out of the penalty area as Oliver Antman now has an opportunity to draw Finland level. They look dead and buried at 2-0 down. Can they draw themselves level here with 6 minutes to play? Craig Gordon crouches on his line as Oliver Antman prepares to step up at Hampden to draw his side level. Antman against Gordon scores. Hampden silence, but for the few Finland fans. And Oliver Antman has made a real impression since coming on, setting up the first Finland goal, scoring the second from the spot. And Craig Gordon has had a 75th cap to forget.
Yeah, and he makes no mistake with that one. You know, drills it into the back of the net. I think watching it again, it was tight, but I think the right decision.
Do you think so? I can see why you would say that.
Yeah.
I think if I was Craig, I would think it would be incredibly harsh. But looking at it, it's a fraction of a second that he just gets there before.
I think the fact he's went with his two fists as well. Maybe if he'd went with one, he might have got more stretch on it.
Yeah.
He's went with his two, and the ball has actually went in behind the goal as well. You know, the way that you would expect it to go if it came off the Finnish player.
Yeah.
Scotland 2, Finland 2. What a second half it's been. And the 22-year-old Oliver Notman has made a real impact as the ball is headed back to Sinisalo. A bit of cramp there as well. I think for Hoskinen.
It's a keeper kicking the ball out for cramp.
Well, there's going to be a delay here by Hoskinen. Does have his legs stretched off, but Scotland
just stretch it and get up.
Talked about the start they made to the second period. They got the 2 goals. They were looking good, and then just sat off it a little bit. Finland came back into it. The changes seem to have helped them.
They just looked a wee bit disjointed ever since that second goal. The performance level dropped. I don't know if he does get does he get the very first touch?
I think he does get the first touch.
I think he gets the first touch and then collides with the player.
Yeah.
I think it's harsh, Willie. I think it's harsh. I do.
I think maybe the fact that the follow through still takes Galway's out is probably why the referee is giving that as a foul, even though he does make the first contact. I mean, we know nowadays, for instance, if you go in for a tackle, you can't just say, oh, he's got the ball, because that's not that doesn't always necessarily mean it's not a foul. And I think you can probably extrapolate that to this situation as well, as Finland get themselves a free kick back up in their own territory. But all of a sudden the kind of oomph has gone out of the Scotland second half performance. They find themselves back at 2-2. Conway, the man penalised there for that challenge there on Hoskinen. Just trying to put
never a foul.
Nah, there's not much.
Never a foul in its life.
Just trying to close the ball down as Hoskinen tried to clear. So what we've got left, 3 minutes plus stoppage time for either of these sides to find a winner. Well, I think although a few of the crowd have already left to try and beat the traffic, the roof would nonetheless come off Hampden if Scotland were to get a late winner, even though it's just a friendly. It would mean so much to get the win ahead of the big one out in Germany. And parts of the performance have been good, parts not so good. Plenty for Steve Clarke to pick over in the aftermath of this, but they've certainly got some more defending to do to make sure that they don't turn a 2-0 victory into a 3-2 defeat. They have got themselves a free kick as Ralston goes down. Quickly taken midway inside their own half. Scotland coming forward down the left hand side now. Greg Taylor. It's a good ball for Morgan. Morgan now, can he find a teammate? Only Conway was in there. It's headed away as far as Jack, 25 yards from goal. Now Ralston into the feet of McGinn, just can't link with Jack, and Finland managed to pick up. It's Antman quickly closed down there by Ralston. McGinn snapping into the challenge also. He's not looking to give this up just yet. Another challenge there from McGinn. It will be a goal kick in the end. But John McGinn, regardless of whether it's a friendly or not, he doesn't want to.
I think something's annoyed him there. Is there a wee 3 seconds of madness?
Why is that not a free kick against John McGinn? I cannot believe it. He just lost it, isn't he? And the referee just, let's just get on with the game. Listen, nothing against him, but he's just taking the player out.
It's a free kick all day long. The refs had a couple of calls in the last couple of minutes that have been interesting.
Goal kick then to Finland. Over the halfway line it goes. Just approaching the final minute here. The fourth official will soon let us know how much added time there is to be. It looks at the moment like they're heading for another draw, as it was back in the warm-up for the World Cup back in '98. And of course we opened that tournament as well, going down eventually 2-1 to the mighty Brazil. And this time it's the host Germany that awaits Scotland in a week's time in Munich. One thing's for sure, although the performance hasn't been awful tonight, it'll need to be a lot better against Germany. Here's Ralston, right hand side of the penalty area, takes on his man, flashes it across goal. Sinisalo gets down to knock it away. Really good play from Ralston. Sinisalo did well. Back to Hendry now, 30 yards from goal, infield to Jack. Now McGregor, 3 minutes added on time. Just about to start that right now. Here's Tierney, midway inside the Finland half. Scotland looking for a late winner. Tierney on the right foot, well over the top from 25 yards. Hugely ambitious from Kieran Tierney as he looked at his solitary Scotland goal with a right foot screamer.
If it was on his left side, I'd have fancied him a wee bit more, but I think he's just thinking, we need something, we're into injury time, I'll take the responsibility. Drives inside the pitch, but he never really caught it at all.
Good play from Ralston. How do you assess his overall performance, Willie?
Yeah, I think he's done very well. It's not been outstanding by any means, but it's been pretty solid. He looks comfortable and confident in everything that he's done throughout the game. He's got that experience as well behind him. I think he's done enough to, put a very, very strong case forward for starting in that position against Germany.
2-1 Germany, incidentally, against Greece. They've come from behind to seemingly win that one. They'll be pretty late on in their game as well. Here comes Scotland. Greg Taylor giving chase, but Niskanen gets there first. Taylor's done well, though. He's charged down the clearance and he's won it back, he's kept it in play. And now it's Jack Hendry. Hendry out to the right-hand side for Ralston, about 30 yards from goal, plays it into the feet, tried to do so of McGinn, but he couldn't bring it under control. Looked a little bit tired there as he was on his heels. John McGinn's behind for a goal kick. Are you at all surprised that Shea Adams hasn't had any game time tonight, having only come off the bench?
As I said before, the manager knows exactly what Shea Adams can do. He also is maybe thinking about not risking injury. They were not blessed with that many strikers in the squad, and he wanted to take a look at Conway. He knows exactly what Adams will offer him if he selects him, so I can understand why.
Fair enough. 2-2 into the final minute of stoppage time. Scotland have possession through Kieran Tierney, midway inside their own half. There's McKenna and now Hendry. Forward, Jack dummies it. McGinn plays it into Jack inside the centre circle for McGregor now. McGregor out to the left. Here's Greg Taylor. Morgan's down his left, but he plays it in. Here's a chance for Conway. Brilliant save from Sinisalo, but it might drop in. Oh, he's got up and he's knocked it away. Brilliant double save from Sinisalo to deny Tommy Conway a stunning debut winner.
I don't think he could have done much more, could it? It looks as though it's going into the back of the net. It's a big opportunity,
what a chance for a young man to make himself a hero in his debut.
It's a great save, though, isn't it?
It's a double save.
It's a double save as well. He gets back up and gets his fist on it again to put it out for the corner.
I think maybe Vassainen and the defender also got back for the second one. As the full time whistle goes, Finland survives a late scare there to claim a 2-2 draw here at Hampden. It was a pretty dour first half that offered little. Finland, if anything, had the better chances in it, but it was a second half that really came to life. Scotland starting very brightly and getting the opening goal 9 minutes into that second period when Andy Robertson drove towards the byline, drove the ball into the 6-yard box, and it came off the unfortunate R2 Hoskinen, who diverted it past his own goalkeeper to give Scotland the lead. 4 minutes later it was 2, and Robertson again was the provider, this time for Lawrence Shankland, who rose inside the 6-yard box to give Scotland a 2-0 advantage. And at that stage it looked very much like the Scots were set to sign off for the Euros with a good and emphatic victory, but then some changes were made. Scotland just kind of seemed to take the foot off the accelerator a little bit, and on 71 minutes Finland got a goal back as the substitute Oliver Antman, who made a good impression, provided for his fellow sub Benjamin Callman, who glanced a header beyond the Scotland sub-keeper Craig Gordon, and that made it 2-1. And then with 7 minutes of the 90 left, Craig Gordon penalised for a punch that caught Oscar Galvez inside the penalty area. The penalty was awarded, up stepped Antman, and he slotted it past Gordon to make it 2-2. And then the final seconds, the Scotland debutant Tommy Conway rose to meet the ball inside the 6-yard box, headed towards Sinisalo, who made a terrific save and then got up, and when a combination of him and Leo Väisänen kept out the second ball, and that meant it finished at Hampden ahead of the Euros. Scotland 2, Finland 2.
The countdown to UEFA Euro 2024 lives here.
Oh, it's brilliant!
Scotland versus Finland, a warm-up friendly.
Wonderful goal for Scotland!
Live on Sportsound from BBC Radio Scotland.